Welcome to Hanson Holt. This train is about to depart.
Hello viewers and welcome to Hanson Holt. Now, I'm sure like me you're aware that as enjoyable as building a model railway can be, it's not a cheap hobby. We pride ourselves on building Hanson Holt on a bit of a budget. Now, it doesn't mean to say that we've been able to save money everywhere. Occasionally you see something nice and you think that'll look great on the layout, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's nice to be able to pick up some older models that are not as expensive as modern Hornby or Bachmann or Dapol, and be able to do something with them. So you might have seen our old video on repainting Hornby TTA wagons with some Railtech decals, or the video that we did on converting some old flatbed wagons to car transporter wagons. Well, with this video we are going to convert an Airfix Mk.2 brake coach into a network rail DBSO coach. So this is the Airfix coach that we've got. As luck would have it, the corridor connector from the correct end has gone missing, and also the coupling has as well, which is not a problem because we will not be needing those parts, but everything's there on the other end. These Airfix air-conditioned Mark IIs are available very readily on eBay. They're also re-released by Hornby, I think mainline released version as well, of effectively the same model with the same tooling that was originally owned by Airfix, and it's still, variants of this are still in the current Hornby catalogue. Their current Aircon Mark IIs, as far as I know, are adapted from the same basic tooling. In order to convert this to a DBSO, we've got hold of the PH Designs Photo Etch set. This includes the templates for scribing windows, the window frames, vents and other details, lights and other details to convert the Hornby coach to a DBSO. Hornby coach you can pick up for probably £10 to £15. This set was about £15 plus postage. There's the instructions. You do have to print the instructions off yourself. Well, you don't have to print them yourself. You could refer to them on the screen, but I've chosen to print mine off so I can work my way through the project without having to have the computer in front of me. PH Design, hadn't come across them before I started looking for a conversion set. Found this. You can order products through the website, but once you've added them to your basket and completed the order, you'll receive an email from the owner asking for a cheque or postal order to be sent through the post. So from beginning to end, I think it takes about 3 or 4 weeks from raising the order, sending the cheque, and then receiving this, which is fine because I wasn't in any rush, but just to advise you that's the way things are done at PH Designs. Obviously a sole trader, but just looking at this, looks like a really good quality set. I did also order some window blanks for another Mark II network rail coach, so I can get let's say the first class open version of this coach, and I can just fit a couple of window blanks, respray that, and we'll have another network rail coach. Main reason I was attracted by getting a DBSO for Josh's railway is because he's got a network rail 31 that was an Airfix class 31 that I repainted yellow using Railtech decals to convert it to a network rail class 31, and we've also got a GBRF class 73 that he bought with some Christmas or birthday money, and of course with the DBSO you don't need to have 2 locos on a push-pull arrangement. You can just have the driving brake coach at the front with 1 loco at the back, so you save a bit of money on not having to have an extra loco, and you've got a fun project to convert an old coach, which doesn't need to be in great condition, into something modern. So we'll have a look at the set, and this video will be filmed over over a few weeks at least while we proceed with this project. It's a nice autumn winter project, so it'll give us something to do through those dark months while we're doing a bit of scenery on the one hand and doing a bit of a rolling stock conversion project with this. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, so we'll have a closer look at the PH Designs DBSO set before we get stuck into the build and start taking things apart. So, I don't know if you can see it, this is the largest fret you get in the set. It's effectively a set of jigs or templates. So the large piece at the bottom wraps around the front of the coach and it provides you with templates that you can then score to mark where the windows go. And once you've marked those windows, you can cut them out and then fit. You'll have the windows all in the right position. You can fit the window frames, and it has also the corridor fillers for the coach as well. There's 3 smaller frets. This one, get that in focus, contains the window blanks. So 3 window blanks there for the coach, and instructions obviously show you where to put those. This is the, if you can see that, the plough and cab window frames. And this is the, there we go, the lights, and I think that's a roof vent. There's 11 pages of instructions, which, as I said, if you want to print them, you have to print yourself. They're very detailed, very clear. Loads of pictures, which is fantastic, so you shouldn't go wrong. Nice, clear, well-lit pictures that show you what you should be cutting out, what you can mark. There is a version of this fret that has a large vented panel, so obviously you can ignore those steps. If you've bought the set without the vent, as I did, because it was cheaper and we're supposed to be doing this on a budget. And they do recommend you use an etch folder, which, as luck would have it, I do have a folding tool. Not essential, but very useful, because etch is easy to bend, but difficult to straighten out. So luckily I have got one of those in my toolbox, and I'll be making use of that for the window frames, lights and other delicate parts. Okay, so first things first, we need to strip down the coach. Haven't stripped one of these down before. One thing you do have to watch out for on these Airfix coaches, the bogies just swing around like that. They've got no restrictor to stop them, so it does drive you nuts when you're trying to take the coach apart. I don't know how these are connected, so I don't just want to pull it off in case it doesn't come off. I'm going to use one of these. It's a bit like a plastic trim removal tool that you might have for a car. That actually came with the etch folder, so it's designed to for using with the etch folder to fold piece of photo etch brass, but it's very handy because if you just push, I've removed the corridor connector from the other end. If you just push that up, try and get it to focus like so, and the bogey is spinning around in a way, you can then slide that along and use it to release gently the body from the chassis without scratching or damaging anything, hopefully. It's quite difficult, I think. Hopefully we're getting there. There we go. So, interior, exterior out. The windows just fall out of the body. So that's helpful because we can put those to one side. We've now got the body free. Essentially we can do what we want to that. We can start scoring the cab windows, sanding off the paintwork, because obviously we will prime and paint it, but in my experience the printing often shows through when it reacts with the primer, so we'll sand that down as best we can before we prime it. This, I guess we can largely put this to one side. Not sure if we need to paint it. We'll have a look how it looks once it's all back together again. Yep, there you go. Okay, it's day 2 of our network rail DBSO conversion, and what we've done is we've taken the coach, and you can see we just sanded off all of the raised detail, the moulded detail on the break end of the coach. You may have noticed that I also sanded off the detail on the other end of the coach, which just goes to show you should always pay attention to what you're doing, especially if it's at the end of a day and you're tired. So with the detail sanded off, I've just got to fill that small recess there, and then sand down the raised edge of this window. And then what we'll do is removed from the fret and folded the jig, and we just fit that over the end of the coach, line it up with this raised line, I think it's the guttering, and then tape that down securely. And then you can see we've got a template to scribe the door, the windows, the lights, and a window on the other side. So once that's taped down and we've scribed those, we can then remove the template. Also a little template to scribe out where the there's a vent that goes there, which is covers the horn, I think. So once we've scribed those, we can remove the jig, cut out those windows, tidy everything up, and then we're ready to start fitting some of the brass components. So far, so good. Okay, so update time. What have we done? We fixed the jig template onto the front of the coach, or back of the coach as the case may be, what will be the front, and we've used that to score the door and the windows and the lights. I'll show you what we've got so far. So starting from this side, you can see there's a blank to cover this window, but we've used the template to scribe with a scribing tool the outline of the window. And then you can see here for this window and the horn grill, we've just chain drilled around the inside of that scribing mark. And on this side you can see we've gone a stage further and we've cut away the plastic parts that have been chain drilled. So that's the kind of progress from scribing to chain drilling to cutting away. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously it needs a tidy up. As you can see there, that's fine. I haven't filed it down or anything yet, so that's just what I've done with a scalpel. Oops, focus. I'm going to need to resize that window in the new driver's door. That's going to be a trickier job, but we'll see how we get on with that. So yeah, we're getting there. So far impressed with the PH designs. Okay, time for a quick update, and we've finished scoring and drilling out all of the windows. So there you can see front of the cab, the horn cover, the window on that side. So pretty much ready to start fitting some of the photo etch brass parts. So far so good. Looking forward to progressing with this one. Okay, so we've moved on to fitting some of the photo etch parts. Oh, there you go. So you can see we've fitted one light unit, the horn cover and the corridor connector blanking plate. It's looking really good so far. So I'm just going to do a quick demo of how to remove some of these delicate photo etch parts from the fret. So what I tend to do is something like a steel ruler like that, and then you can just press down, because these parts are thin, just press down on the photo etch part to keep it flat so you don't damage it or bend it or twist it when you're cutting it. And then just use a sharp knife, I'm using a scalpel, to cut through the little parts that connect it to the fret. You can hear them just snap. One more to go on this one. And there we go. So that's the second light unit that's out of the fret. Just give it a couple of swipes with a sanding stick or a file to remove any nubs, like so, and like so. And then I'm just going to show you, not that I'm an expert, but I'm just going to show you how to use the photo etch bending tool. So this is the tool. I can't remember how much these cost. They're not particularly expensive. And you've got various different options. It spins around like that, so you can find the one that you need. I'm going to use one of these.
It's a very cool tool.
Yes, yeah. And then what you do is the scored side is the inside.
Yep.
So we're just going to trap that under the tool like so, and then you use this plastic piece here. You just slide that under your piece of brass and bring it up to 90 degrees, and that's bent the piece of photo etch. Release it from the tool, and you should have a nice, crisp, perfect angle. Okay, we'll get this one finished and fix it to the loco. Sorry about the racket, viewers. That is a Airfix Class 31 rattling around the track. Looks like it needs a bit of running in. Thanks, Josh.
You're welcome.
And I think that DBSO looking pretty good. Yeah, it's that set of points. That's better. Can you slow him down a bit?
Stop in front of the camera. So this is our Class 31 repaint. Didn't film this, but it is a very nice project. We're very proud of it. So it's a Network Rail Class 31. Now I have another one somewhere in a BR Blue livery. I'm just going to get it out. Can't find it. Sorry, viewers, but there it is. Very nice locomotive. Very proud of a repaint. So we're going to repaint the driving unit, and yeah, let's get it running towards the 31 now. Oops, that's